Welcome back to another UNC Tar Heels football recruiting podcast here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, that is called Tar Heel Illustrated. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and joining me is our director of football recruiting and jack of all trades, Miss Deana King. And Deana, the Tar Heels recruiting train has picked up a little pace here this weekend with Ayden Duncanson, a three-star class of 2023 athlete from Whitefield Academy in Mableton, Georgia. He has committed to play football for the Tar Heels, the 20th commit in Carolina's class of 2023. He committed to East Carolina on August 1st, visited UNC later that month, had a tremendous visit, built up big-time communication with Charlton Warren, and now he has officially flipped from ECU to North Carolina, the second kid in this class to do that here in the last month or so. So what are your thoughts on Ayden Duncanson being the latest future Tar Heel?
He got offered back in, I believe, August, same way with Ty Adams. Both those kids from Georgia were committed to East Carolina. Both of them came down to visit Chapel Hill, the Florida A&M game. One thing about Duncanson, his current teammate there at Whitefield Academy is Caleb Lavallee, who's already committed to North Carolina. So with him being there and everything, so Duncanson decided to take a visit, and he did come this past week for a week visit to him and his mom. And basically fell in love with everything. He told me that he can get everything he needs, college-wise and after college, and in the outside world there at Carolina. Very strong academic school, and with the opportunity to play power football with at a university that has a worldwide brand. You know, the Carolina brand is nice, worldwide known. So just loved everything about it, and sealed the deal when he came up this past week and decided to flip his commitment to Carolina.
The thing that has always stuck with me about every time that we've talked to him, you've talked to him many times, was that this was a broader decision than just football. And which is interesting because, obviously Carolina over ECU is an upgrade in football. It's an upgrade in stature, the stage, the platform, everything else, competition. It's going to be harder to get on the field at Carolina than ECU and all that kind of stuff. And I know the ECU people will have fun with that, but it's true. But this was a much, much broader decision. And I think what Carolina did a really interesting job in selling to him, since they came in late in the process, was the football sell was kind of easy and the academic stuff is all there, but it wasn't just about that. It was about the life experience in Chapel Hill. It was about not just facilities. It was just about being there and making that a permanent part of your life, which I thought was really interesting that he hit on that stuff a lot when talking to you.
Yeah, he said they're building relationships with the coaching staff. I mean, he's going to be playing under a Hall of Fame coach. You know, Coach Chizik has won a national championship as well as a head coach. And then he's being recruited as a safety. So the relationship with Coach Warren, and then, Coach Bly's back there in the defensive backfield too. So he's going to have some really good, guys back there. Warren and his military background, and then you have Bly with his professional NFL career, everything. And so he's going to have be surrounded with a lot of good people there on that coaching staff. So, but like I said, he said everything was of everything that he wants to do, it can be attained there in Chapel Hill. And he's another Georgia kid. So, Warren has really made a presence in Georgia. I mean, with all the connections he has in there and everything. So, but as a player, he's very good. He's very athletic. He plays quarterback for Whitefield, and I believe they're 5-2. They were open this week, so uh, he's got over 1,400 total yards and accounted for 20 touchdowns, and he does play a defensive back for him too. Got around 17 tackles and 2 interceptions. So a lot of these kids I've noticed, same way with Adams, he plays quarterback too. Very versatile. And, if they want him to play safety, you got to be a little versatile. And, he's 6'2". When they get him in and on their weight training and the nutrition and everything, he could put on 10, 15 pounds and be really solid back there, because all these recent offers to athletes in the 23 class, they've went out in the defensive backfield.
When you talk to Gene Chizik or listen to him talk about his preferences defensively and what he preaches to his kids, a lot of it's about eye discipline. He talks about eye discipline a lot. Well, when you're bringing in kids and putting them on defense that play quarterback, they're going to have pretty good eye discipline, because to play quarterback, you already have to have that from that side. And you add that, and also the fact that they understand quarterbacks, they understand movement, they understand tendencies, so they can read better. Safeties, DBs have to be able to read those situations. So the more guys on defense with really good eye discipline, I think this year's team is showing us, the better, because that isn't always the case with the current team. One last thing on Ayden Duncanson. You've been really clear to me in our communication about him, about Caleb Lavallee's role in this. Carolina should, I guess, point to the passer, right? Give him an assist on making this happen, because Caleb has been working Ayden for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken to Caleb about him, trying to get some input in Ayden's recruitment. He's the one that told me that Ayden was coming down to visit last week with his mom and everything. But of course, having somebody go through the recruiting process, and I'm sure he was basically the lead recruiter for Ayden. I'm sure Charlton is going to get official credit.
Yeah,
but,
well, he should.
But Caleb, he's Caleb plays both ways there for that team as well. A really good athlete too. So, getting a duo from there is really good, because they'll know each other, and so just a good pickup. It's their 20th, and like I said, another kid from Georgia. I think this class is going to be solid, Andrew. I mean,
yeah,
they're around 22, I think, right now, 21, something like that.
Yeah, well, they're at 20, and I guess they're looking at about
and I
21,
think they
22
will
for
end
the
up
class.
being at least top 25, because a lot of these other schools, and we do a different kind of rating system, which it does with the player average and everything. I think that's a little bit more indicative of the type of class that's coming in, because
Absolutely.
all these other ones, they it's based on like the amount of players. I mean, I'm going to throw out a team, somebody like Iowa State could sign 28 kids, and they all could be like 3 and 2 stars, but they could have more points added up over a team like North Carolina if they had like 15 and all of them were like 4 stars. So it's kind of weird, but I do think, based on rivals rankings, they'll be top 25, and they could add a couple more. They still got a few targets left.
Well, we kind of thought 25 would be the ultimate number in this class, and I think you have to factor in transfer portal in that number. So 1 or 2 more probably high school kids, and they're going to leave the door open for a few portal kids, depending on what some of these guys that have COVID options decide to do as well. That'll be especially along that offensive line, that'll be very interesting to see what happens there in December and January. Ayden Duncanson, 3-star athlete, class of 2023 from Mableton, Georgia, has committed to North Carolina. He's the 20th member of the Tar Heels class of 2023. She's Deana King. I'm Andrew Jones. We appreciate you stopping by.